Hi, my name is Michael Hajiantonis, and I am the male narrator for The Thief's Keeper. I'll answer a few questions here for you. How did you become a voice narrator, and what do you enjoy most about it? Well, I've been an actor for a while, started acting at school, and I've always loved the idea of doing voiceover and narration and voice acting. I've always loved doing accents and impressions, and I think that's the two kind of go together very well. And then when I was leaving university, a friend of mine who's been doing voiceover for a while made some reels with me, and then I set up a Fiverr page in sort of February 2021, and then the last few years it's now pretty much my full-time job, which is great. Yeah, I love it. I love the freedom it affords you. I think just with this book, I'm voicing Vikings, French knights, street urchins from Hull. I mean, and you can't get away with that kind of freedom or film acting, or theatre maybe. But I really enjoy the sort of the largeness of life. Play a lot of these characters in, and just that freedom, that it's very liberating to be able to lend your voice to all manner of different creatures and characters. Yeah, I always love that. Which part of my book did you enjoy narrating the most, and why? Loads of moments come to mind. I don't want to give too much away spoilers wise, but there's a really lovely poignant moment in a church towards the end of the book where a character kind of reveals his backstory and is giving a bit of a life lesson to Aelfric, and that I thought that was a really lovely moment. I mean, and there's also so many lovely moments of comedy and lightness in there. But that's one that really stuck out for me. How did you approach bringing the different characters, such as the last Vikings and Celts, the Vasfian tribe, to life through your voice? Well, for me, I just thought, okay, I need to create the most authentic sounding Viking or Celt as possible. So, for the Vikings, I did my best sort of Norse, Danish sailor voice. And with the Vasfians, I mean, I know it's not explicit, but there's a lot of references to Scotland and them being red-haired and Celtic and sort of estranged from the English and the kind of the English villages, etc. I had to go for Scottish accents, so that was how I set about doing that. I mean, both are very fun voices to do, so that was a pleasure. Was there a scene or character that presented a unique challenge for you as a narrator, and how did you overcome it? I think two things for this. I mean, always as a male narrator, doing female characters I think is tough, because I don't want to sound cartoonish, but I also need to differentiate them well enough that you can hear the difference. As a man, that's always a bit tough. It's always a fine line to sort of to tread. Yeah, so I hope I've achieved that. And then also I think I try to, authenticity with these characters and a lot of sort of northern accents and things, and balancing the accents, British accents, while still being audible to listeners from all over the world. I think that's always quite tough one to strike. I think I get being a Brit myself, I'm kind of I don't find it so difficult to. I'm used to hearing these accents all the time, so I can. To me, they sound intelligible, but I guess to other people, it's not the case. So I need to maintain that balance there. So those would be the two areas. And what do you hope listeners will take away from the story after hearing your narration? I mean, for me, what I loved about this book, I've always, the way that history's taught in the UK, and I imagine lots of countries, it's always about the top of society, right? It's the kind of it's the kings and the queens and their marriages and alliances. But I've always really been fascinated in those events meant for everyday people, and how the lives of ordinary people were affected by the Norman invasion in 1066. So that was really fascinating for me to sort of learn about all these lovely little tidbits and facts that you pick up naturally just from reading this book. And I think also it's not a history lesson, because it still has that life and and that energy and character that you get in a good story. So I hope that all of those come across to people. I think it's a lovely story about two characters that come together and bond in these difficult circumstances, and how they sort of power through and get through crisis and this sort of point of turmoil in British history. So yeah, that's what I would say. Thank you very much.